Oh, I meant to ask you, like, what was that take on Tapestry? Yeah.
Well, all right. So the idea behind it, right? And first of all, it's a great episode. It's one of my favorite. Um, who am I to say how they could have done it better? But I think they could have done it better. Um, because at the end of the day, Q shows Picard a horrible life, a horrible existence. Someone who just has this very mundane job. He has no friends, he has no family, he has no romantic interest, no children. Like, he's just basically alone.
Yeah.
Or you could be this great captain of the Enterprise. One of the things that I like what they do is they don't go for the, well, if he doesn't change history. He says, no, don't worry, everything, all the good things
Right.
he ever did will still be. But like he when Picard just was like, yeah, I'd rather
Well, what about
be
that line? What about that line Q gives him, like, yeah, like anything you did, it's not really that consequential. You know what I
right.
mean?
I think that was just his line, but he says that while saying like, fine, I won't change the timeline.
Right, right.
You know, don't worry, you killed all those people in Wolf 359. Don't worry, Picard. So, but I feel like had he shown Picard, the safe route, but not just like the worst loser in the world's life.
Well, it's not even worse. It's like you're as much of a loser in all the other aspects of life, except now you're not a captain. Is
Right.
kind of what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, no, so you're saying like because he's the captain, he has all these accolades, he doesn't. I mean, I don't know if he has friends. Would would you say that Captain Picard has friends?
No. But I
Because
look at it. I look
it's
at it
lonely at the top.
sort of like an RPG where you're filling in all the points. So like if you're gonna be like the kind of captain that he was, like you're filling all of those things up with the aspects that needs to be a captain,
Leadership, right?
leadership, courage, all that kind of thing. And then like
Right.
the things that would lend itself to being a family guy and, a friendly guy, you kind of leave in barren. But
Okay.
like so then it's like, well, when he's that junior lieutenant, what are you filling up his other attributes with?
Right.
You know?
Does
Yeah.
he have any hobbies? Does he
Maybe he plays the flute.
there you go. But like I feel like it would have been more interesting had they filled in some of those areas with anything else so that it just wasn't like, oh, had you taken a different path, then his life should have been different other
Right.
than you didn't become the captain.
Right.
But, you know, maybe that didn't go with the point they were trying to make. If I pull on a string, the whole tapestry of my life would unravel.
Yeah, that's still a bad Picard impression, but
Well, now I'm just doing the line. I'm not doing the impression.
yeah, no, I agree. It's like um, it could have been probably a good 2, 3 part episode where yeah, both in you figure like in Inner Light he had a family and he saw what that life was like.
I'm not sure.
But he didn't have a choice of whether or not to choose that or be, Captain Picard. It just ends. And
Yeah, that's.
then
I guess in the Nexus he had like
yeah,
sort
but
of
now
like
you're
a
going
family,
like,
but
I'm
right,
just talking about original like the series.
right.
And then like and also that's sort of like a fool's paradise. Like living Nexus is not like real. And he
I'd
knows
sign
it's
up
not
for it.
but he knows it's not real. And I think
Right,
that's what bugged him. And
right.
then in Tapestry, he doesn't really have a choice to like had they given him a choice like, oh, you're this junior lieutenant, but you're fulfilled in other ways. Oh, you have a family, you have friends, whatever. A hobby. But no, it was just sort of like yeah, you're alone and you're kind of like this, loser that, never really took a chance.
Well, maybe, I mean, part of the problem with, so did, so I'll call him Lieutenant Picard, right? Do you think
Junior
that
Lieutenant
Junior
Picard.
Lieutenant
They
Picard,
made
did
it like
he,
a point of saying that.
did he have the ambition of Picard? Or do you think, oh, now that he's jumped into that life, he still has the ambition that he always had as captain?
When Q leads them off and he's like the junior lieutenant, now he has the captain's. Yeah, he
Right.
wants. That's
No,
why
but I
he
mean,
has that whole meeting with Riker and Troy.
no, I
Like,
know, but
hey,
I'm
like, how can I advance?
well, I mean before that, whoever that Picard would have been, was he
No,
devoid of
because
the ambition?
because he like he wussed out and didn't take on the Nausicaan, and so now like that dictated every other action he ever made. Thought he had, which is silly, but
Well, I mean, think about that Picard. All right, forget about the fact that the captain jumped into that body. Let's say it was some alternate timeline where that Picard exists. I think he still has the ambition, just it's unfulfilled. And that is what makes that life so sad.
yeah, I could see that. It's not like he was a completely changed person and now he didn't have those ambitions. I see what you mean. Yeah,
Now, but the other thing is like, hey, at least you have your life. You got a lot of years ahead of you. Like, like it's the 23rd century or 24th century. You might live another 50, 60 years of healthy life. Like, go get it.
true. But his voice is going to get really raspy.